Destiny 2 has just released its latest episode, Heresy, and let me tell you, boy, Bungie has been cooking. The new seasonal activity, the Nether, has brought with it a fresh breath of exploration, a new sense of difficulty, and an absolute pile of loot. The new dungeon, Sunder Doctrine, just had its successful day one race and now stands side by side with Vesper's Host as another great dungeon in the new episodic format. It's even set a new record by becoming the longest dungeon race in Destiny's history, even though there's only been like 2 races total. And don't even get me started on how great the new secret exotic mission is. By most standards, this should all be praiseworthy pieces of content, but even so, I still can't ignore the creeping feelings I have about the state of the game right now. The feeling that I'm once again taking on a large grind just for it all to eventually mean nothing. The feeling that at the end of the day, I'm still just playing more Destiny 2. Now, before you, dear viewer, sprint down to my comment section, I want you to know that this is not a Destiny Doomsday drama video. I've already thought about making that video a long time ago, and trust me, there's absolutely no need to kick a dead horse here. Believe it or not, I actually still do love this game. I've loved this game, the friends I've made from it, and the memories it's given me over the last 10 years of my life, and I'm just tired of watching it all go down the drain. I'm making this video because Heresy has been nothing but a bold statement that Bungie, or at least the dev team, still very much gives a damn about the game. Therefore, I want to take the time to reflect on some of the aspects of Heresy that show real potential to expand upon Destiny's identity as the game evolves into whatever its next iteration of it may be. There were some brilliant choices made with this episode that absolutely warrant feedback, and I'm sure, especially after one of the most depressive eras of the game's lifetime, that the dev team would like to hear confirmation that they're actually on the right path for once. And no matter how it's done moving forward, Heresy just confirmed that there are 2 things that I'm fully convinced are an absolute necessity for Destiny's survival. Destiny needs to feel alive, and Destiny needs to feel like home again. Before we go too much further, at the time of recording this video, the episode has only just started its 2nd week, so I'll let you know now that we're going to enter spoiler territory. Now, you're more than welcome to go catch up on the details, then come back to this video, or you can just stick it out at your own risk because you're just chill like that. Your choice. That being said, Heresy's story absolutely drop kicks you in the face in the best way possible. If you're an experienced Destiny player, then you know that anything involving the Hive is pretty much guaranteed to bang. But I'm not exaggerating when I say that my jaw hit the floor when Eris was shish kebabbed in front of her main squeeze and then dropped for a 2nd time after she came back and pulled the peepers out on us. But more important than all of that, Drifter has to be going for an Oscar this season because the urgency, the desperation, the despair, and now the anger he's shown us through every story beat has been nothing short of exceptional.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Moonlight.
We've also had interactions from Sloane, Ikora, albeit a bit more indirectly, and most recently, the Witch Queen herself, Savathun, all of which have been extremely reactive to Eris's death one way or another. And to top it all off, we're receiving all this new dialogue in formats that bring the story directly to the player, whether that be in orbit, characters being present mid-mission, or even the new holotech our Ghost will perform in the field. It's definitely safe to say that this has been an infinitely better experience than the old fast travel here to talk to X character, then go listen to the message on the holoprojector days. We're also introduced to Eris's apartment, a little tucked away space in the last city that's brimming with her personality and character traits. There's something so hilarious about Eris keeping a jar of acolyte eyeballs next to her bed, or a pet hive worm in a tank, and oh yeah, a giant fucking slab filled with taken energy in the breakfast nook. I can only imagine what kind of hell she's put that landlord through. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, this is exactly why player housing of some kind is an absolute must. We need to feel like we've personally invested into a space of our own, a place of sanctuary for our guardian that is purely made from our own design, and that also acts as a general hub, something that brings the immersion of the world to a more relatable and personal level, just as Eris has done in her little apartment away from the terrors of the world. Speaking of terrors, Bungie has also taken a stab at making us feel the pain this episode. The Nether has been a total shock to the system and has introduced us to a completely different gameplay aspect. All resources, including health, are now limited and must actively be sought out to be replenished. There are also these huge taken eyeballs that will stare at you and give you a new debuff called Smothering Darkness. And I think that phrase is extremely fitting to describe what the Nether actually feels like. Our light and strength feel smothered and small almost at all times, and we're forced to get well acquainted with the deafened audio and the blood red vignette around the screen that happens whenever you're at low health. The Nether, at least solo, is full of these butt-clenching moments that truly test your loadout and game prowess, and it's a welcome change of pace instead of just mowing everything down because we're so overpowered as we usually do. Also, the darkness abilities from both the Dread and the new Empowered Taken, coupled with their tendency to rush and swarm you, have made them a perfect, annoyingly deadly combatant to fill this smothering realm with. You'll often find yourself overwhelmed by enemies in an instant, and trust me, they definitely know how to keep applying pressure to you so that you can't regroup. All in all, the Nether feels like you do not belong there, and it actively goes out of its way to remind you just how dangerous it can be. These have all been great examples of how alive Destiny can feel, and it feels like not only is the universe truly moving and reacting to our many victories over the darkness, but that the ripples and the consequences of those victories are now finally descending upon us. But then, just as everything seemed to be going well, the destiny of it all set in. Suddenly, I went from feeling like I'm exploring a new location to feeling like I'm grinding a new seasonal activity. Loot is raining down on me, and I can't do anything about it because my vault is overflowing with weapons I'm too afraid to delete but still rarely use. And thank goodness I don't participate in hard mode in-game content anymore because I haven't hit max light since the final shape, and I'm damn sure not going to start now. Also, you need friends for things like that because Bungie doesn't give you those. You gotta find those yourself.
Uh, what am I worried about? I got plenty of friends. I can name 3 right off the bat. The gang's all here.
Let me give you an analogy. Say Bungie sells you a fresh slice of pizza with everything you want on it. After you eat your slice, Bungie's like, hey, we're gonna put the rest in the fridge. You can come back for more tomorrow. However, the aforementioned fridge is filled with old, rotting food that hasn't seen the light of day in God knows when. So the next time you come back for the pizza, it still looks good, but it smells like a combination of everything that was in that fridge. Now, if you want to eat it, you have to be reminded of all the disgusting food, so you quickly change your mind. And instead of cleaning out the fridge and adding fresh food, or just buying a new fridge altogether, Bungie chooses to sell us a new fresh slice of pizza instead. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Destiny fails to invoke its universe in a way that matters when new content drops. New content is typically tied to new destinations and activities, but then everything outside of that remains the same. Same strikes, same patrol zones, same towers, same crucible, so on and so on. Nothing that is new has a chance to shine long enough before the pile of old content ruins it. We have to escape this cyclical feeling of grind and make progression feel much more natural. And grind is embraced when the game disappears, and the game disappears when the world is immersive and full of mystery. Destiny's best moments exist within discovering secrets that are right in front of your eyes, secret missions, patrol areas that are full of secrets, etc. And Heresy nails this aspect on its own. However, once all of the newness wears off, it still doesn't feel good to play core Destiny, and it hasn't felt good for a very long time. To end this video, I want to share this Steam review that perfectly sums up the sentiment that many players, including myself, feel about Destiny 2. Destiny 2 is the best game that I can't recommend. The shooting, the art, the sound, everything about it is the industry's best, held back by draconian progression systems and temporary by design story content. I imagine this game is comparable to something like Heroin. It feels so good until it doesn't, and then you're stuck chasing the dragon. No other developer exhibits such frustrating inconsistency of quality and consideration for its players. The future of this live service game is uncertain, and that's a real shame because I'm pretty sure nothing will ever be as good as this game can be, could have been, and should have been. As the saying goes, Bungie always makes their best work when their backs are against the wall. But all I want is for Bungie to finally make the game that they've wanted to, and not the game that they've needed to. I don't want Destiny to just survive anymore, I want it to thrive. Heresy is another great piece of content, but it's following an oh so familiar path that we've seen way too many times at this point. I hope that I'm wrong and that Heresy shows us all the signs of better days to come. Perhaps a new Destiny can be reborn in a way that is almost unrecognizable, but still feels like the epic tale of space magic that we all know and love. Or maybe I am just huffing some serious copium and Heresy is just the cheeseburger behind the barn. Either way, only time will tell if this episode will be enough to give us the hope to keep dreaming of a better Destiny. But if you were to ask me today, I'd still tell you that Destiny is the best game that I can't recommend. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I just want to take a moment to extend my personal thanks to you. This is a video that took a long time for me to put it into words, and I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time at that, so this was double the mental fortitude and effort when it came to getting this all put together, but nonetheless, we got it done, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If this is your first time coming by my channel, my name is Cryptic. Hi. It's nice to meet you. I hope to see more of you. If you want to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. If you want to like this video too, just so I know that you really enjoyed it, that would also be great. And I go live every Friday at 8 p.m. EST right here on YouTube, so I hope to catch you there sometime too. But other than that, I always appreciate your viewership. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.